Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video I'm doing Reading Vlog Volume 2. So it is Monday, I've just gotten back from work. I have already finished a book today, so go me. I finished listening to the audiobook for Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, and wow, I just want to know who decided this book is romance. Cause we need to talk. This book was like watching a 1800s soap opera. This story really focused on the drama that ended up happening because of Catherine's father's favoritism towards Heathcliff. Don't really know why Catherine was in love with him. Maybe he was nicer than we were led to believe. The narrator in the story is actually the housemaid for this family over like the past 20 years. And sure, she could be an unreliable narrator, or she might have a bit of a bias towards Heathcliff, but I don't know. Just from what we saw of him, I have a very hard time seeing him in any kind of a positive light. The dude was a jerk. And I understand like he is trying to get revenge against the people he believes have wronged him, but in all honesty, I don't think her husband really wronged him. Like, it's not her husband's fault that Catherine didn't decide to marry you. Just saying. He then goes into a really weird plan to try and continue getting back at Catherine's husband, but it's sort of incestuous and just really weird. How did this ever get considered a romance? I'm all for being catty, but like, there's more to life, man. As much as this book was completely and utterly insane, I have to say I did enjoy it. So next up, I am also currently reading Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. Heir of Fire was finally the first book where I did not completely hate Selena, but unfortunately I didn't care about like half of the plot that was going on. In this one thus far, I don't mind Selena and I'm really enjoying seeing more of Kale. I love Manon's chapters as well, but I don't understand why we're still seeing from Dorian's point of view. We're suddenly seeing from this random other girl's point of view, because like, that's a lot of people, y'all. That's a lot of people to keep straight in my head. Next, I am planning on starting the audiobook The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I realized that this is the same author who wrote Broken Girls, and I really enjoyed that book, so I'm definitely interested in jumping into this one. This story also has dual timelines, same as Broken Girls did, the first being set in, I believe, the 1970s, following a woman named Vivian who starts working at this motel. The other storyline is taking place in present time, and it is the niece of the woman from the first point of view, and she is fascinated by the story of her aunt going missing. So we know something is going to happen to the aunt in the 70s storyline that will make her disappear. I'm definitely excited for this one. It's only like 10 hours. Hopefully I will blast through this in like the next 2 days or so. Finally, I started on volume 2 of Harley Quinn Power Outage. I started this last night and it's pretty fun. All of these tabs are basically places where Harley has sort of broken the 5th wall, been a little meta. I'm loving it. I think it is so funny. For example, early on, there is one where Harley is saying that she knows a lawyer, a blind guy in Hell's Kitchen, has a way with the ladies, a real swinger. I mean, come on. For those of you that don't know or maybe aren't comic book people, she's referring to Daredevil from the Marvel Universe. Yeah, so I will definitely be finishing this probably tonight. I think I still have 1 or 2 issues to go, so I will update you guys later. Good morning, friends. It is Tuesday, and I thought I'd give you guys a little update before I head into work. Also, first off, let's talk about how awesome this mug is. It's Batman on one side, and then the other side, there's trouble brewing. I was right. I did finish the Harley Quinn comic last night, and I only had 1 issue left, so I also am probably about 2 hours into the Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I already know I'm gonna love this because in the dedication she included murderinos. one of the perspectives, the present time, when Carly also seems to be obsessed with true crime, which I can definitely identify with, and I love that. Carly's mom has recently passed away, and so she is trying to find out what happened to her aunt in a way to also try and reconnect with her mom. While at the same time, we're seeing Viv's point of view, where she has just started living in this new town in New York. Basically, she just went there because she was trying to get away from home. Both of the women seem fairly similar, but thus far, their perspectives have been different enough that they're not confusing. Since I'm listening to the audiobook, it also helps that they actually have 2 different voice actors for each of the different point of views, and I'm enjoying it so far, hoping to probably listen to some more of that while I'm at work today. That's it for now, friends. Hello again, friends. So here's a new fun angle you guys haven't seen before. I'm sitting at my desk and I just got back from taking Faith for a walk. I've been working on edits, but I have hit probably not quite the halfway point in the Sundown Motel. I'm really enjoying it. We're getting to see a bit more of parallels between Viv and Carly. Carly is trying to solve Viv's disappearance. Vivian in the past is currently looking into some unsolved murders of her own. Each of them have a friend that they've kind of dragged into trying to solve this. Carly's is her roommate, Heather, I believe, who's kind of an unusual chick. She's really into the history of the town because of her dad. Well, Vivian has met a photographer who also works as a PI kind of. The photographer's name is Marcy. She's also worked for the police as well, so she does know a little bit about the different murders that have taken place in town. There are also 2 guys who we've been introduced to in Carly's timeline who might possibly be romantic interests. We shall see how that goes. I do really appreciate that each of the women have different perspectives for how they're going about solving their cases. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this one so far and definitely planning to try and finish this tomorrow. Since I finished Harley Quinn, I'm kind of debating if I want to do another physical read. I'm sort of thinking about picking up The Witch's Daughter by Paula Braxton, or I'm also debating on grabbing A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones on my libraries app. I don't know which one I want to do. I'm kind of hitting a lull with Queen of Shadows where it's not holding my attention very well, unfortunately. We'll see how that goes. Hello friends, happy Wednesday. So I have some news. I have decided to give up on the Throne of Glass series. I'm sorry, Allie. I realized last night when I was basically forcing myself to try and read Queen of Shadows that I was like, okay, well clearly I'm not enjoying this if I'm having to force myself to read it. I have instead picked up the first Sunshine Vikram book, A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones. I'm already loving this. I'm like 4 chapters in and it is super fun. Sunshine is a police officer who just recently became sheriff in this small town where she used to live. Her parents entered her into the election to become sheriff, basically to kind of guilt her into coming home, and it worked because she won. She is now back home. She's living in her parents' guest house with her 14-year-old daughter Ari. So far it is totally hilarious. Dorinda Jones kept the really funny quotes that she has at the beginning of each chapter that she also did in the Charlie Davidson series. Faith decided to come join us, friends. I think the last chapter I stopped on, the quote was, skinny people are easier to kidnap, stay safe, eat cake, and like, I love that. We have gotten to see a little bit from the daughter's perspective, which is interesting. She went to a party, and while at this party, the deputies ended up coming in and confiscating the keg that they had somehow managed to get. And so now everybody at the school thinks that Ari might be a narc. Later, you find out that in reality, the deputies ended up going and taking the keg because it was too late for them to go and buy one. So they just went and confiscated it. We have also seen that Ari and Sunshine have a very close relationship since Ari's dad is not in the picture. Ari struggles with clinical depression and also has fairly bad asthma, so that's a two big concerns that Sunshine constantly has on her mind, and I think that'll be interesting to see moving forward. I've listened to a little bit more of the Sundown Motel. I think I'm about 2 more hours in, and now we have seen that Carly from the current timeline has officially learned about the other killings in town. I don't think I mentioned previously that this is kind of supernatural-esque as well. Both women are seeing ghosts at the motel. So that's interesting. Because of that, it's not really surprising that Simone St. James has made the atmosphere in the stories very creepy, particularly when the girls think they are alone at the motel, and suddenly that's when the ghosts will become really active and start showing themselves. And it's definitely creepy. Like, I probably wouldn't want to listen to those parts while I'm like walking by myself at night or anything like that. Yeah, I'm gonna do some editing. I am gonna cook dinner tonight. I am making my favorite creamy tomato pasta while I'm listening to my audiobook. Updates later. Hey y'all, so it is Friday. I finished the Sundown Motel, and wow, this had a bunch of twists and turns that I wasn't expecting, and this was super good. I ended up flying through it. I loved getting to solve the mystery. Carly was probably my preferred point of view because she was much more the true crime fan, and I could kind of understand how her brain was working a little better. Yeah, I definitely recommend this one. It was super interesting. I really need to check out some more of Simone St. James stuff because I am now 2 for 2 on loving her books. I have also been blasting through A Bad Day for Sunshine by Dorinda Jones, and I am loving it. I stayed up fairly late last night reading, and within the span of 1 chapter, I cried from happiness, from sadness, possibly from laughing, and nearly screamed in excitement. This book has been so good. Dorinda Jones is doing it again. I will say there has been some discussion of suicide, but this mystery has been so intriguing. I still don't know if I know who did it. She's definitely pulled some things out before that, like, I never suspected, and then I was like, that makes total sense. I'm also 100% in love with the, I don't know if I would call him ex or like the one who got away from Sunshine. His name is Levi. He is partially Native American. He is a trekker. He brews moonshine. He is dark and scary, and I love him. He's great. I want so much more of him on the page. I'm definitely planning to try and finish this one today. Tomorrow's July 4th, and my boyfriend lives out in the country, so I'm gonna go hang out with him and his family and hopefully set off some fireworks. Maybe I'll get to film a few for you guys. Hello again, friends. So it's Friday night. I officially finished A Bad Day for Sunshine, and y'all, I need the sequel now. Not in April 2021. I need it right now. This was such a fun ride. I'm so glad I jumped into this because it just totally reinvigorated my love for Dorinda Jones. I blasted through the last 100 pages today because I just needed to know what was happening, and we kind of got answers, but like we also kind of ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm not okay with that. The main mystery that was going on during this book was solved, but the overarching mystery that I can tell is going to continue in A Bad Day for Chardonnay is definitely still ongoing. We still don't really know the answers to an additional mystery that took place in the past. We got some answers, but not enough answers, and I need the rest of the answers. I also am fairly certain that this book was supernatural as well, but our main character, Sunshine, does not have any supernatural powers. She actually ended up meeting a bartender, and he mentioned that he had previously worked for a man whose daughter claimed she could talk to dead people, which is a direct line, essentially, to Charlie Davidson's. I need more, and I need it now, and I am gonna go through withdrawals. Like, I know it's coming. I also ended up starting on The Witch's Daughter, and I'm literally not. I'm 16 pages in, so I'm not gonna really give any comment on my opinion. I'm gonna continue on this tonight, probably the rest of the weekend. I'm also going to start on the audiobook for Animal Farm because it's like 3 hours, so I'm gonna blast through that in no time. Also, on a not book note, Hamilton dropped on Disney Plus today, and I forced my parents to watch it with me because I needed to watch it. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. Again, I laughed, I cried, I sang. I was lucky enough to go and see this with my best friend Kat. This was actually her favorite musical, but I hadn't listened to any of the soundtrack. I hadn't seen it before. After seeing it with her, I was completely obsessed. I became super addicted. I listened to the entire soundtrack, and now it's midnight and I'm contemplating rewatching it again. I don't know if I'll check in tomorrow. Maybe I'll check in tomorrow morning, or if I don't, I will see you on Sunday. Hey y'all, so it is Sunday and I haven't really read all that much. I think I've read maybe 4 more pages of The Witch's Daughter, and I'm maybe 30 minutes in to Animal Farm, so not much of an update. Instead, I had a nice lazy morning. I celebrated my brother's birthday with my family, and then I went to do a escape room with my boyfriend and his family. It was super fun. The first room was Doctor Who themed, the second room was Star Trek themed, and the third room was Rick and Morty themed. We didn't beat it. We were on like the last puzzle, but we were so close, so close. I probably will read some more tonight, but because of editing reasons, this is the last update you guys are gonna get. So it's been a good week, and I will check in on my next vlog. Bye guys.